They got the lucky draw because every team in the league wants to have that open week later in the year rather than early. They benefited.
You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So Doug Marrone's Jaguars set to take over. They'll be led out by the MVP of Super Bowl 52 in his 8th year now out of Arizona. It's Nick Foles.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
We want it. Come to my work.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Let's go!
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Foles. Caught here by Conley.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. A shotgun give to Fournette. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10. They keep it with Fournette on first down. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. That one complete. He finds Shark. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 15 yards on the play. First down. Now Foles. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. D.D. Westbrook, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. This is a crew. They've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you're really out here in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. Tannehill on first down. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On first down, Tannehill. It's caught. Humphries. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Off play action, Tannehill. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
He gets it to Humphreys. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Let's go.
Offense for Jacksonville coming back out. CD, we've discussed Gardner Minshew, his game that he had Week 9 against Houston, a little bit of a struggle. Now, after the open week, the question is, will Nick Foles be ready to go, and if so, will he start? What do you think of that whole situation?
It's a tough one for the head coach, Doug Marrone, and management in Jacksonville to figure out because Gardner Minshew's played well overall. But when you look at the overall team record, you say, okay, hold up a second. Maybe we should go with the veteran guy because remember, there is a question. Is Gardner Minshew hitting the rookie wall? He had 4 turnovers on 11 plays in the 4th quarter in the loss against Houston. This gives them the opportunity to bring back the guy that they brought in to be their starter in the first place, and that's Nick Foles. And I expect Nick Foles to be the starter with the next game.
So maybe a situation where if they were 6-3, you stick with Minshew 4-5, not so much?
I would agree with that totally. You ride the hot hand, but right now that hand isn't as hot as it once was.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Now Leonard Fournette. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll run with Fournette. That good for 22 and a 1st down. What did you see there on the defensive side? What allowed that good-sized run?
Well, they were in a cover 2 alignment, which means your 2 safeties are back away from the line of scrimmage. So if you can match up your blocking at the line, at the point of attack, there's usually some room, a big gap between that 2nd level and 3rd, and that's what they were able to exploit.
They'll try the right side here with Fournette. He's still fighting forward. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on 4th down.
We own them. Let's go.
They'll go with a big bank Fournette. And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Here's Foles. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Keelan Cole, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Great corner route there, not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Short kick, one of the up. Now a hit and a loose football. And they will will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Ben Koyak, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. Quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Tennessee now sits at 4-5 on the year, coming back out here for their next offensive drive. They dropped to 4-5, as we mentioned earlier, with that 30-20 loss at Carolina. Unable to overcome a 17-point halftime deficit. One thing that didn't help, they activated Ryan Suckup, their kicker, for the first time this year, but he was 0 for 3 on field goals.
Yeah, and when you have that as a problem, trying to come back from a 17-point deficit, not to mention some injuries. Cornerback Malcolm Butler broke his wrist. A 2-game win streak went by the boards on that one. And now if they want to get into this race, it has to activate against Kansas City in Week 10 before their open date. Good history, though, with Kansas City.
Touchdown, Titans! Adam Humphries, his second touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed... And it's blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball.
We're going to shut you down. We're going to shut you down.
Following the botch PAT, they're set to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. A nice little juke. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite... That's caught at the 25. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Foles now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. That's going to be caught. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Leonard Fournette, as the first half is winding down, and the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
And Walker has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So we reach halftime, and there you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 37 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. It's been an easy day for them.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Leonard Fournette, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Time here to remind you that coming up later tonight on Sunday Night Football, it's the Seahawks and the Eagles from Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And then tomorrow night on Monday night, more Birds with the Ravens involved in that one. Sadly not taking on the Cardinals or Falcons, though. Instead, they'll match up with the Rams in L.A. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, hey, we talked about the AFC playoff picture. Let's look at the NFC. That's a different story. You've got Dallas and Philly neck and neck in the East. Then Green Bay, New Orleans, and San Francisco as division leaders. But with only 2 more wild card spots, there are some good teams left out in the cold in January.
Yeah, because right now you got Seattle at 7-2, Minnesota 6-3. They would be in as of right now. But the Rams 5-3, Carolina, and whoever doesn't win the East out of either Dallas or Philadelphia, this is going to be a heck of a battle, isn't it? People are going to have an effect on this conference with every game that's played, maybe even teams that aren't in the conference. Because if you lose to someone, anyone, it could knock you out of the race.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Tannehill now running the option to the right side. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it, and the Jags grab it.
And this is where you need the quarterback to morph into being a running back. The ball can't be away from his body. It can't be loose. It can't be held like he's going to throw it. Tuck it away. Take care of it because he's going to run through a lot of traffic.
And if he doesn't take care of it, we're going to see less design runs like that. That's going to go down as a loss of 9 on the first down play. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He's got the hook up with Conley.
An eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
Well, that's one of the drawbacks of running the RPO. If those linemen go into run block mode, you can't throw it if they're more than a yard downfield.
Check 55, Mike. You ain't got nothing. Slam. Here we go.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage.
Be alert.
No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
Again, it's Fournette. Three quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Nashville, Fournette. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one good for 37 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the run, it's Fournette. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Seth DeValve, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
Difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Here's Tannehill. Pass caught left side by Humphries. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Titans. Delaney Walker, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Titans are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
Hey, here we go. I got you. Check Mike 54.
Fournette running out of the gun. He wipes out the penalty yardage with a good run to get it back to 2nd and 7. They'll run it again with Fournette. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
This is Fournette. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Still on his feet. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
First seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Good yardage on first, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now this one complete to Corey Davis. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Tennessee getting the first down on a big play of 18 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A well-executed 22-yard gain. Tannehill. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
On 2nd and 10, Tannehill, and he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Calais Campbell, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. To throw is Tannehill, and the pressure gets to him again. Calais Campbell, make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. One last throw here for Tannehill. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play. But still, all for naught, really.
Yeah.